Okay, in this video, we're looking at custom path animations in Canva. This is a new feature Canva just announced at their Canva Create conference, and it really has some cool options. So let's jump in right now and learn all about how to use this new feature. Okay, here we are in a Canva project. I've added a few different elements. So I have this car, I have this bee, and I have a star here. And then I brought out some dash lines just for a little guide for myself. But as you'll see, you really can make these animations follow whatever sort of path you want. So let's dive in and let's see how you do this. So you probably already know in Canva, you can click on any element and then you're going to get this animate option up here to add animation to that individual element. Now you also have some page animation, so if you click the whole page you'll have animate, but now we're working on individual elements. So we're going to click on this bee for starters, and let's imagine we wanted to have him follow this path here. So we're going to click on the animate button, and you may be familiar with some of these options already. So if you scroll over any of these options, it's going to give you a little preview of the animation. But the new option announced today is now you have this create an animation option up top. Now, as this becomes sort of built into Canva, they may move it from this featured spot up top, but for now it's featured up top. So we're just going to click on that create an animation. Now, when we do that, it says you can select the drag an element around the canvas to create your animation. You can hold down shift while dragging to create straight lines, and the speed will be controlled by how fast you move the element around the screen, and then when you stop it's going to complete the animation. So this really is as simple as it sounds. You're just going to click on the element you want to animate and you're going to drag it around the screen. Now, I'm currently working on my desktop with my mouse. It's a little hard to drag things with your mouse, but you'll see the results I can get. If you want it to be a little bit more precise, I think you could work on maybe an iPad with your finger, or if you have an iPad Pro, you have the Apple Pencil. So you can try the different methods and see what works for you, but I'm going to show you that you can get pretty good results even just using your mouse. Okay, so I'm going to start with this bee. I'm going to click and I'm going to try to make them sort of loosely follow this here. And then when I stop, it goes ahead and it builds out the animation. And so you can see pretty quickly, just like that, I was able to get pretty good results. But once you drag it out, you can still make adjustments. So if I wanted to slow it down, I can now sort of bring this slider back and it's going to slow down the speed. If I wanted to speed it up a lot, I could drag that forward and it's going to go really fast now. So again, once you've created your animation, you can still play around with the slider here, doing things like adjusting the speed. Now you have some other options here too. It can be herky-jerky, you know, when you're dragging out your finger or your mouse. And so you have this smooth option here. And the smooth option, when you click on it, you don't always see results right away until you move this speed slider. But then once I move the speed slider, you can see with this option, it really sort of slowly eases into the animation, and then it sort of speeds along, and then you see how it eases out. So this smooth one sort of smooths in and out the beginning and the end of animation. But then if you just want it to be steadier than your original one and sort of move at a constant speed, that's when you would use this steady option. And again, when you click that, a lot of times you then need to click on the speed to see the full animation play out. But you can see how that looks. That looks pretty good. So again, do your initial animation where you just click and drag out, and then you can play around with these options here, smooth and steady, and then also the speed to get something that really looks good to you. Now we have this other orient to path option. Let me just show you that. So we're going to come and we're going to do the same thing with the star here. And I can do this all from within this here without ever leaving here. But if I click done, I also can just click on another element and then jump right back in via this animate tab here. But if we click on this one, we should see that his path should be already in there. See, it says remove animation. So I'm pretty sure his path still exists there, but we'll find that out in a minute. I think if I clicked right here, we would see that, yes, he already has a path. So you see his path was maintained, even though I jumped out of this screen for a minute. But while you're in here, you can go ahead and animate as many things as you want. So I'm going to click over to the star this time, and again, click and drag. So I'm just going to click, make him do a loop-de-loop. And you know what? I don't think I did a great time. You see, I got that one. That one wasn't great. So if I want to just try again, I'll just click delete path, and then we're going to do it again. Maybe I can do a little bit better this time. So it takes some practice. I did a little bit better that time, and so that looks reasonable. And then one thing I can do is if I wanted him to orient to the path, let me just show you what that does. Now if I orient to the path, now you'll notice it adds in rotation. So now suddenly he's orienting to the path. And once again, I can still come in here and play with these steady options and play with the speed until I get something I like. So again, really easy and really cool. Now for the last thing I'll show you here with this car, it mentions right here you can shift click while you're dragging just to have it do a straight line. So if I wanted the car to definitely go straight, I'll just shift click, I'll just pull them across, and then it's going to play. And you can see it's kind of herky-jerky here, but if I click this steady button, then now it should move at a nice steady rate. And just to show you that, let me just delete this for a second. So I'm going to click the car again. I'm going to shift click. I'll drag, I'll stop, I'll drag, I'll stop, I'll drag, I'll stop, and then I'll go, and then I'll release. And so it's going to have that built into the motion, but you'll notice if you click the steady option here, then it just finds one constant rate. So even though you stopped, that steady option really just smooths it out into one constant speed across your animation. Okay, so I showed you just using these animations here, but just know you can click on any element you want. So you could even animate the line here if you wanted to, and you could click and you could make it move all around the screen, and then you're going to animate that. So this works for any sort of items you have in your design. It can be graphics, it can be photos, it can be text, and it really does give you some cool animation options. So make sure you check it out. Once again, just to show you and just to back out of this, I'll click done. You click on anything in here, then you're going to jump up to the animate option, and then you have all these options, but of course now you have this create an animation option, and then it really is as simple as clicking and dragging. And hey, check that out. That's pretty cool. Hey, thanks for watching. Make sure you test out this feature in Canva. And if you're looking for even more Canva tutorials, my name is Greg, and I've taught Canva to thousands of individuals and business owners around the world. And I've just started this YouTube channel dedicated solely to Canva. So feel free to subscribe, and I hope to talk to you soon.